And, of course, the Capitals looking to claim what currently belongs to their division rival, the Pittsburgh Penguins. They begin defense of the Stanley Cup championship as they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Pittsburgh number 2 in the Metro and Columbus number 3. And Columbus really not playing their best hockey as of late. They had that big comeback win on Sunday against Toronto, as we just mentioned. But as you check out the tail of the tape right here, a lot of check marks in the Penguins column.
Well, Sergei Bobrovsky is fantastic, so I have to give him the edge for the Columbus Blue Jackets, even though I do like Matt Murray. But the forward depth for Pittsburgh is very good. They can roll 4 lines at you, and they come with a lot of speed. Even without Chris Letang, I still like the defensive depth that they have. And Zach Werenski might be heading into the playoffs hurt, so that's something to look out for from the Columbus perspective. The coaching, how could you go against Mike Sullivan? It's a great inner story of this series. Sullivan and Torts, they're very good friends, worked together for a number of years. Tortorella is the head coach, Sullivan is the assistant coach, but you got to give the edge right now to Mike Sullivan for the way he's got his team going since he took over in December of 2015. And then the power play for the Penguins obviously is exceptional, and they've got all the experience. They've got a ton of speed. They can do so many good things. So again, I think it's a close series because it was a close regular season all the way through between these teams, but Pittsburgh has just so many different advantages.
And what's more with Pittsburgh, not only do they succeed in spite of health issues. I mean, even when they won the Cup last year, we saw Malkin miss some time, and those injuries have been really, they've really taken a toll this year especially. They've got some key guys who are really banged up.
Yeah, like Chris Letang's not going to play in this series. We know that. Herniated disc in his neck, he will be out. But that guy, Evgeny Malkin, I think he is going to be back in this series, and that's going to be big. He did not play any games in the late in the regular season. He missed the last 13, but he says he's good to go, so that's good news for them. Letang being out is key. I don't think they win the Stanley Cup last year without Chris Letang, but they've had some time to play without him, so that's important. And I think that defensive unit, adding Ron Hainsey, adding Mark Streit, it just makes them better. Ole Mata coming back in from his hand injury, and also when you factor in Trevor Daley coming back in from his hand injury, his knee injury. So they got their defensive depth back, even though they don't have Chris Letang. Carl Hagelin and Chris Kunitz might not be ready to go for the start of the series, but they can make up for it because they've got really good forward depth right now. And the way they play, their system, and the guys that they bring in, we saw it last year when they brought in Brian Rust and we brought in Connor Sheary. I mean, these guys they adapted to the system because they were fast skaters, speed guys who could play that way. Well, this year they're bringing in guys like that. Jake Gensel's been fantastic for them.
Interesting to note, the home team at all 4 games emerged victorious in the regular season series, and Columbus will put up a fight, but who do you think's moving on?
Well, I mean, like I said, with the advantages that I see, I think it's Pittsburgh moves on. I can see it a 7-game series. I'm calling it for 6 right now. Bobrovsky's going to win a game or 2 for Columbus, no doubt about that. But again, we didn't even mention Sidney Crosby.
Right.
I mean, we went through this whole thing and we didn't even mention Sidney Crosby, who obviously we know is a major difference maker. And I think even though they lost Letang, and because they lost Letang, I'm not sure that they can go on and repeat, but I think they can get out of the first round.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby had an okay season, 44 goals, wins the Rocket Richard for the 2nd time in his career. Should be a very entertaining series between the Penguins and the Columbus Blue Jackets.